Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name's Brian Engelman, and that is TV's Blake Walley. This is the Agree to Disagree show on the New American Media because the old American media has failed you. It's Thursday, June 27, 2024. It is the day of the first 2024 Biden v. Trump debate round two. Debates round two. We're hearing theories of something that could occur, so we're going to talk about that coming up on today's program. Make sure you're following Blake. By the way, you can find him. He's in all of the fun places, such as thenextlevelnews.com and on X at TV's Blake Walley. You can see that on your screen. And also, if you like independent journalism, you can go on Cash App. It's $ Blake W 99. And yes, please make sure you're following the New American Media in all of the places because, as I was discussing with Blake prior to the show launching, let's just assume that Meta products, Instagram and Facebook, will discontinue our ability to speak to anyone. We're looking at the analytics. And X is the platform where we are growing. X is the platform where we are engaging with so many of you because they're one of the only ones who are allowing you to see the content that we're creating here at the New American Media, the Next Level News, the Agree to Disagree show, etc. So please make sure you just do a quick search for the Agree to Disagree show and the New American Media. Follow us in all the places, please, because it's going to be a strange election season, and that's what we're going to talk about on today's show. I think I'm going to kind of touch and go on a couple of quick stories, including Assange. Did he likely cut some sort of plea deal regarding the DNC files? Has anything been deleted? There's accusations. I don't know. What do we know? Also, the SCOTUS ruling that just came in about the First Amendment in the United States. Did they make the right decision? And will Rand Paul's First Amendment protection proposal end up working where that option has failed? Also, we're going to talk about Camp David. Is that where Biden has been? Is he just conducting regular activities?
Yeah.
We'll discuss also Biden. What type of cocktail will he be on tonight? Will he have a gimlet, Blake? Blake, make us a gimlet. How do you make us a gimlet? What ingredients are in that?
I believe it's just vodka and lime juice.
Okay.
Memory recalls. Now, I was a bartender for 16 years, but I haven't poured a drink since 2020, I think, since the lockdown. I was on the 69th floor of the Sky Center, the U.S. Bank Tower in Los Angeles, where I had my last bartending gig of watching March Madness, and then all of a sudden, actually it was the college tournaments, right? And then they canceled pretty much everything. So 2 weeks to stop the spread, and the rest of the world is no longer bartending, right?
Yeah, I was asked about a gimlet the other day. I'm pretty sure it's vodka or gin. I think you can get a vodka gimlet or a gin gimlet. I think there's a little bit of leeway you can identify. And then yes, it's lime juice, or is it the lime juice cocktail? Is it fresh lime juice? Is it lime juice with simple syrup? Lime juice, simple syrup. Is it a splash of sour mix? Is it a splash of soda? A splash of
it's not a popular drink, and I think they just modified it into a Cosmo. Just, hey, why don't we just add some Cointreau and cranberry juice, and we'll call it a Cosmo.
Yeah, not too far off. Yeah,
Gimlet's an old school drink. Yeah,
it's all branding, I suppose. But yes, that's not the type of cocktail we're talking about with Joe Biden. We think he'll be on some other type of chemical cocktail tonight. We're going to discuss what some of the speculation may be there. Also, is Biden refusing a drug test because of not incontinence, but what about inconvenience? Inconvenient. Okay, also, this one is getting a lot of legs right now. I'm hearing so many variations of this. Where there's smoke, could there possibly be fire? Will there be some sort of air? And by the way, for our Spotify viewers who are subscribed to the Agree to Disagree show, hit subscribe. Please do that on Spotify. I'm doing the air quotes right there. And if you're just picking up the audio field, could there be a medical emergency at the CNN debate tonight? Also, is there someone out there in the political realm who's actually the Republican Obama? I don't know if I like the sound of that. And finally, the 51 intelligence officials, because these are just propagandists, liars, and traitors. Should they be arrested and charged? All of these stories and more on today's episode of the Agree to Disagree show. Thank you so much for finding us today. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is something I wanted to get into right off the bat to kind of connect the dots. Today's show, we're going to keep it high and tight. We're aiming at a strong 60 minutes because we intend to do a live stream of the debate tonight. And there are rumors that if you live stream, you will be taken down. That's what they'll do to knock your account out. All they need is 150 days of silence. So it's like, well, yeah, you might as well have it. Take it right up front. What do I care? It's better to get on with the deletion from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, right, and just keep it moving. So that's what I wanted to do right now is keep it.
Just so we're on the same page, are we doing a live stream at the same time as the debate, or are we doing one after the debate? That would be very key.
I'm prepared to do a live stream during the debate, and I'm also okay doing a recap after. Maybe we could do both. Maybe you could do one. Maybe I could do both. Maybe I don't know. What are you thinking? What would be best for you? And by the way, that's our question of the day for the audience out there. Can you please type in your comment section? I see we're getting 9 from the New American Media on X, 3 from Blake's on X, a couple from YouTube, and what is that, Kick, or what is that one, Blake? When you hover over
Kick,
the eyebrow?
probably, yeah.
Kick. Type in the comments section. Would you prefer a live stream during the debate or a recap after, if you had to pick? I'm kind of fine with both, but Blake, do you have a preference either way? How do you like to consume the debate?
I think I'd rather do it afterwards, but okay. I don't know. It might be distracting. Sometimes I don't really know if I like those live coverages. You've seen some of those? Okay.
I enjoy them.
Like Steven Crowder, but then he doesn't want anybody else to talk, and so he's always trying to talk over everybody, and then you can't hear what their actual candidates are saying up there because he's trying to crack a joke constantly, and it's just like, this is distracting and annoying. So I'd rather hear what they have to say, think about it, take a few notes, and then come back to it later.
Okay. Then Blake will join us after the debate, and I may be streaming during the debate. Hello, Timothy Hanlon. Thank you so much for joining. Question of the day, once again. If you had to pick, don't forget Hanlon. We will not forget. Question of the day, once again. If you had to pick, would you prefer someone doing live commentary over the debate, a live reaction, and a live fact check, or would you prefer a wrap-up afterward? I totally get there are pros and cons on both sides. But here, let's get to this real quick to wrap up something from Tuesday's show. This is a speculation that is going on here. And this is regarding DNC files, Julian Assange, a plea agreement. I just want to play this because this is this has been moving around the interwebs. Oh, did it pick up the same page, Blake, or did it jump onto another tab? Hang on one second.
No, I'm looking at it. It's what we got, Glenn Beck, your buddy.
Yeah, that's not it though, because I clicked on it and it took me to a secondary tab. 1 second, I got to remove the source here.
Ryan's got like 30 tabs open on his computer at all times.
No, that's true, but that has nothing to do with what occurred there. I had the story queued up, and when I clicked play, it sent me to another. There we go. You got an ad playing?
I don't see anything. Okay, now you've got it.
All right, let me mute her and go past this. Good gracious. Wouldn't it be nice to have some production?
They are celebrating Julian Assange's release and freedom after about 12 years on the run and time spent in prison. I'm one of those people that I'm not giddy about it, but I actually fall now closer into Julian Assange camp. Because what he did release. Some called him a free speech warrior. Some called him a dangerous activist that put our military and national security at risk because he hacked and then published millions of documents on WikiLeaks. So how did this happen? Well, he just pled guilty to espionage as part of a deal with the U.S. Justice Department. Now,
and we talked about the espionage plea deal, but it's just now, once it's happened, we're trying to unpack some of the finer point details.
I don't know if you know this, but espionage can actually carry a death. and espionage is a really big deal. But the DOJ under Biden has just said, well, time served. For what they've been saying is the largest espionage in our country's history. I just want an understanding. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with Julian Assange being, freed and allowed to go. But really? I mean, that seems very magnanimous.
And a lot of the questions, why Obama, or, I'm sorry, I said Obama, it is Obama's team, but why did Biden do this? Why now? And just kind of linking back when Assange leaked everything, that was under the Obama administration. So was this done to try to get a grasp on those files and try to memory hole all of the criminal activity that was released during that time?
And it was the Biden DOJ. And Biden came out yesterday and wanted to make it very clear he had nothing to do with the deal. He doesn't know what's on his son's laptop. He's never been involved with his son's business.
And these are all points that Trump is going to absolutely hammer Biden on during today's debate.
He has no idea what the Justice Department is doing. They had no information about the Mar-a-Lago thing. They're not trying to cancel your gas stove. There's nothing further from the truth. And they had nothing to do with this deal with Julian Assange.
It's fairly unbelievable, but that's the story they're telling. This is the gaslight administration.
Now, I find that hard to believe only because you would think the president of the United States, you might want him to weigh in on this. But maybe Joe is just completely out to space and out to lunch, and he can't string three words together. He's just Dan. Maybe. But there was a deal made. We know that.
And this is a deal that had been negotiated for many, many years now.
And it was made in secret. Eden Pure is back with their famous thunderstorm.
Oh, God, no. I got to scroll past. Don't need it.
We don't need to. I think we got the basic of it. Or is there more that we have to see?
Yeah, he's getting to the point here.
New York Times. A, quote, a secret hearing. Don't like it already. A secret hearing paved the way for his release. In the end, the choreographed multinational dance that led to his release took place behind closed doors at a secret bail hearing in London last Thursday, according to British officials. Now, the Aussies were involved in this. The British were involved in this.
And by the way, speaking of the Aussies, it appears as Tucker Carlson's down in Australia put some interesting video out. Check out the X feed at American_media_ to find some of this stuff. But I would not be surprised if Tucker gets that first interview with Assange really quick.
The Americans were involved, and my spider senses are tingling a bit. Now, this morning, early, we may have gotten maybe a tip, or it was a mistake. The X account and Wokeness noticed something odd early this morning while you were asleep. All 20,000 leaked DNC emails have just been removed from WikiLeaks. Huh. Now they say, this is and Wokeness, that this is part of the deal with Biden's DOJ, and everything now makes sense. Well, I don't know if that's true. My team did verify that while other hack archives on WikiLeaks are still up, including Hillary Clinton's emails, when you click on the DNC archive, it does produce a server error. Okay, they're all gone. That's odd, but maybe it just is a server error. Is this proof the DOJ coerced Assange to cover up their embarrassing secrets in exchange for his freedom? No. Today, it's a server error. Now,
yeah, we'll cut it off there, but that is what is being accused right now as far as how did Julian Assange work on the plea deal to get out? Did he have to cut some sort of deal? Or is it just simply a case of there was an internal server error at that particular moment? We're in different threads talking to people about it, and some people are saying, it might just be a simple search glitch. Or it's definitely Obama and Hillary Clinton trying to cover their tracks from things that, by the way, these files are out there. They're archived everywhere. It's not like you're ever going to get rid of them. But it is an interesting question mark to the Julian Assange story. I don't know if you had any particular thoughts on this, Blake. It's some speculation and a couple different opinions bouncing around now, but it doesn't seem like something that the Biden Obama Justice Department, it seems like something they would want to do, whether it actually did happen or not. What say you?
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that. I don't have any reason to contradict that. I'm sure they did make a deal. It was a surprise. We weren't, was no, strategy for Assange. It was just maybe hopefully someday he gets pardoned. And all of a sudden, like, oh, wow, we just suddenly got released. Or we've got, RFK Jr., that's one of his campaign ideas. It's like, oh, if you elect me, I'll, release Assange. I'll pardon him. Cool. But all of a sudden, yeah, surprise move in June. Julian Assange released. So, yeah, it probably did cut a deal of some kind. And you know what? I feel bad. I can't say I blame him. He's done enough time. He's been holed up into in Belmarsh, probably pretty harsh conditions, and as well as he was stuck in that Ecuadorian embassy for so long before that. So he's served his time, paid his dues. Heard he was in bad health. I don't know. People are saying he looked like he was pretty good health when he was released. I don't know. I'm not him. I'm not in his position, but. Yeah, he's done enough for the journalism community. So
I would agree. By the way, I heard that same thing about Julian Assange and his declining health. And I would also add that when I saw him, just on a quick glance, he appeared to be very healthy. He appeared to be doing very well. Not entirely certain what the case is, but we will see on that. But yeah, you remember the Clinton, Podesta, Obama, all sorts of emails that were hacked in the Seth Rich, Julian Assange WikiLeaks data dump. Really damning stuff, as we have discussed on previous episodes. But it's just something to keep your eyes peeled on. Like I said, also keep your eyes looking at Tucker Carlson to see if he gets that upcoming interview. So just keep an eye on the Julian Assange story as that develops. Maybe we'll learn a little bit more about that over the next couple of days. Second story we want to get into here, and then I'll turn the reins over to Blake. This is a huge Supreme Court ruling that, really has me kind of fired up, and it's about standing. Let's get into it. All right, so the question would be, agree or disagree that the Supreme Court of the United States made the right decision in their First Amendment ruling. Does Biden's wiki leak? I think everything leaks on that gross old thing. Okay, but I want to ask about Supreme Court making the decision in the First Amendment ruling. Let's just recap for what happened. I guess at the crux of this, Blake, we once again find ourselves, Amy Coney Barrett, I believe, wrote the opinion on this one and kind of punting the case, kind of saying that the people who brought the case don't have standing to bring the case. It's as frustrating as what happened during the 2020 air quote election, when multiple entities across multiple states all sued and all tried to get an emergency injunction, some sort of fast path to the Supreme Court because of the urgent time-sensitive nature of the election. And repeatedly you saw it. What the left will say is, X amount of times the courts ruled against President Trump in the 2020 election. You go, no, that's not the case. Show me a court that took on a case. They all punted. They all said, you brought this case, but you don't have standing. Yeah, you brought this case, but you don't have standing to bring this case. And it's like in a 50-state combination election where the outcomes in Iowa impact the people in California, you all have standing. But they just found a way to punt that and say there's no standing to go ahead and say, look, certifying these votes under these circumstances is unacceptable. My state voted properly, and it looks like that one is being flipped upside down. Oh, sorry, you don't have standing. And that's kind of what happened here in this case in the First Amendment ruling. This is from Zachary Cohen. It says Supreme Court of the United States on Wednesday said that White House and federal agencies, such as the FBI, may continue to urge social media platforms to take down content that the government views as misinformation, handing Biden administration a technical, if important, election year victory. And so in response to that, Senator Rand Paul came out and said, clicked on the wrong button there. Sorry. Go back one more time. Senator Rand Paul said, today's SCOTUS decision makes it clear we urgently need to defend our God-given right to free expression. So what happened here, Blake, is that standing wasn't proven. They didn't rule in their favor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if the courts aren't going to handle it, maybe a law needs to be written to codify and further elaborate on what the First Amendment is. Rand Paul continues, it's time to fight back and pass my Free Speech Protection Act so the government can no longer cloak itself in secrecy to undermine the First Amendment rights of Americans. And this is from Fox News here. Rand Paul moves to protect Americans' First Amendment rights from Biden administration's collusion with big tech. He's introducing the bill on Tuesday, imposing harsh penalties on federal employees and contractors who leverage their positions to attack speech protected under the First Amendment. This bill would empower American citizens to sue the government and executive branch officials who violate the First Amendment of the Constitution, according to Paul's office. Under my Free Speech Protection Act, the government will no longer be able to cloak itself in secrecy, blah, 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 blah. So, Blake, maybe you have thoughts on what occurred during the SCOTUS ruling from yesterday. I was pretty surprised that it came in the way that it did. But then aside from that, do you have any thoughts on what Senator Rand Paul is proposing to really, if you can't deal with this in a justice under the purview of the justice system, it's time to pass legislation immediately?
Well, yeah, I think we're all disappointed by what happened with the Supreme Court but it also, it's complicated, and it was based on some sort of technicality, I guess. Yeah. In fact, there's a tweet here I will share from our friend Brian McWilliams here. Let's see.
Yeah, I did see this one
up. Yeah, he says, to be clear, SCOTUS did not rule that it was in the government Biden administration's power or right to censor speech, but they wussed out on a technicality. The fight is not over. So that's
very well said, by the way, right?
Right. Well, it could be. I mean, I'm not a legal expert, but I mean, yes, we're obviously we don't want the government coming in and cracking down or having these social media companies censor speech. And I've been a victim of this. Brian and I, we've been absolutely ruined by this. Careers destroyed. I would love to be able to sue these people. In fact, why don't I show you my Facebook? I hate Facebook. But let me show you what my Facebook looks right now. This is a live view at my Facebook. It says, I'm temporarily blocked. It looks like you were misusing this feature by going too fast. Whatever the fuck that means.
Wait, it says what? It looks like you misused what?
It says it looks like you were misusing this feature by going too fast. You've been temporarily blocked from using it. If you think this doesn't go against our community standards, let us know. I've already sent 2 messages to them. I said, like, what does it mean? What is too fast? What does that even mean?
And by the way, I got the same thing on Instagram for the New American Media page. Follow us on Instagram, the New American Media, until it's gone. But I think it had me prove that I wasn't a robot by clicking on bicycles, because I was sharing too many stories in too short an amount of time. They didn't like that. So maybe you were sharing something too many times or too many posts in the same 20-minute time frame. It's like, I'm not here to leisurely stroll around, people. I'm here to find the right stories, find the important the policy makers, the right pundits. I'm going to share because I'm finding it and getting it to you immediately. Jump on it like that. I move fast. It reminds me of the wolf. If I talk fast, I think fast, and I act fast. If my skills aren't welcome here, gentlemen. No, Mr. Wolf. No, I'm sorry. If I act curt, it's because time is of the essence. I speak fast and I talk. Anyway, I got to watch Pulp Fiction again. I'm overdue for a Pulp Fiction fix. But I think that's what the feature is what they're trying to get you for. Were you sharing a lot of stuff quickly?
No, I mean, I had a couple of videos. No, I'm trying to upload videos somewhere, and all of a sudden I'm blocked. Those take a while to upload. So I don't know what they're talking about, and there's no explanation, and nobody ever responds. But this is typical of all of these social media networks. This is the shit show that I deal with. People they have no idea all the dirty tricks and bullshit that goes on behind the scenes. But it's so easy to take down smaller voices like myself and just constantly keep me irrelevant. 12 years later, I cannot get a video to go viral. I cannot play on, an even playing field. I have no chance. I'm kind of hoping maybe there's some hope for Twitter, which has absolutely destroyed me over the years too, taken away probably, at least a third of the followers, and, it limits my reach and puts a lot of my replies under a different headline. People have to search show more replies in order to see anything that I write. It's been stacked against me. And if I could sue these motherfuckers, I hope I can, because I'm in on that. Yeah, it should be a massive class action suit. And I'm sick of it. So yeah, if they want to shut down people, no, they should do exactly what Twitter does and put the community notes. If there's a post there that they don't like, or maybe misinformation, they should be able to, say something, and there should be a note on there. I'm 100% for that, rather than just secretly shadow banning you from behind the scenes, or censoring you, or pulling this chicken shit bullshit.
By the way, Blake, let me wrap around here. Thank you for venting on that, because yes, you speak for me as well. Screw these tyrants. They have really derailed our careers in ways that we can't even put into words. So we are going to move past it, because if we stop and think about it, I mean, it's enough to just grab the laptop and toss it across the room, because what's the damn point? We've been silenced so profusely by these asshole companies. We were expecting the Supreme Court to at least step in and just wipe the fucking floor with these people for all of the criminal activity they've done, violating our very first, most important Bill of Rights protected liberties in this fucking country. Anyway, I'm not going to stay on that path, or otherwise, like I said, I'm going to start to really tell you how I'm feeling. But here's the quote I was trying to find a second ago. The wolf says, "Jimmy, lead the way, boys. Get to work." Vincent says, "A please would be nice." Come again? I said, "A please would be nice." Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do, and if self-preservation is an instinct that you possess, you better fucking do it, and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, then lots of luck, gentlemen. No, Mr. Wolf, it ain't like that. Your help is definitely appreciated. I don't mean any disrespect. It's just I don't like people barking orders at me. If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast, and I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So please, doggone it. So pretty please, with sugar on top, clean the fucking car. Oh, I had that whole thing until that last line. So pretty please, with sugar on top, clean the fucking car. But yes, if it's curt, it's because time is a factor. We think fast, we talk fast, and we need you guys to act fast. Thank you for joining us on the Agree to Disagree show, going through all of these things. Yes, blacklisted, dude. Blacklisted for sure. So Supreme Court made the wrong decision, but what about Rand Paul here? Final thoughts on him, and then we'll get to the meat of today's episode with about 30 minutes left to go. Rand Paul putting legislation out there that's going to specifically, unambiguously wind up and get ready to go on the offense here.
No, I'm a huge fan of Rand Paul. This is just another great idea from him. So I am 100% behind that.
Absolutely. We're going to have to really keep our eyes peeled on that. Timothy Hanlon says, "Stay centered, gentlemen. It's a battlefield of mind, body, and soul." Exactly. There have been times I've dragged Blake further into covering content when he's like, and there's been times where Blake has dragged me into covering content when I've been like, and it's all just like, for all these years, 12, 13, 14 years. It's been a gigantic shit show. But go back to our interview with John McAfee. I believe it was toward the end. I haven't heard it since I need to clip it out as like a short or something. But I told him, I said, look, I have one voice while I'm here in this earthly experience, whatever the hell this is. Like, I'm going to use it as long as I can, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be allowed to have it, you know? And he enjoyed that sentiment. And then he was later offed in a Spanish prison, allegedly. So, you know, staying centered is a little tough when it just seems like you're under constant attack from people that really don't belong inside the sphere of our daily lives. The point of America, the concept of living on this planet should be just to kind of live and let live. Do your thing. Just don't infringe on me. And this has gone so twisted over the years. You know, yeah, people like Rand Paul can try to grab the steering wheel and get it back on track, but we need a lot more people to be pulling in the right direction, because we're going off the road here. We've really got to course correct. So we are going to try to stay centered as best we can. Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate that. Okay. Let's shift gears here and now talk about Biden. Today is election day. Once again, we will be covering live during the debate and after the debate. I will be here during the debate. Blake will be here after the debate with me, kind of giving us some analysis and some of his favorite quotes and phrases and clips and highlights and the groundbreaking, earth-shattering news that's made during it.
I might show up high and drunk, but we'll see. I'll still be there. All right.
I mean, you'll still be more coherent than Biden. All right, here we go.
Perhaps. Okay.
Yeah, I know it should be criminal to cover content after 11 o'clock. Because what? It's 9 o'clock Eastern, and then it'll be done at 10:30. That's easier for you. That's only done at 9:30, I guess. We have an extra hour.
Yeah, it's brutal. I don't know why it's so late.
Why is it so late? It doesn't make sense to me. It's not.
Well, I want to give everyone a chance to see it, you know, even on the West Coast, but that's still like, you know, 6 o'clock.
Okay, I guess it's only for the West Coast people. That's too late for people on the East Coast. It's just too late. 10:30 at night. I
don't know. I'm a late night guy anyway, but still, it's unusual.
Yeah, I get it. But then again, when we used to live out on the West Coast, it was nice when those things worked out and, you know, you were able to participate. It's like those late night baseball games, Blake. You and I both grew up baseball fans. You're checking rotisserie league, fantasy baseball, and you're trying to find out if John Olerud got 3 hits last night. I needed 4 RBI to win my league. But like when games are played on the West Coast, it's almost like they don't even happen, because by the time your game's done, you're just going to bed. That game is just now starting the first inning. You're like, I'll wake up and read about it maybe. But
well, it's different, right? Cleveland is East Coast, right? Or I mean, yes. East Standard Time. Okay, I've never lived under Eastern Standard Time. I've always been Central or Pacific, or sometimes Mountain. But yeah,
that would be a good question when we do fun facts about Blake Walley. That'd be a fun question. It's true or false? Blake Walley has never lived in Eastern Standard Time. True or false? In all of his cities, in all of his states, he's never lived under the tyranny of Eastern Standard Time.
Well, Pacific was all right, except for I hated the fact that NFL games start at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I really got used to it. I really got used to it, Blake, because then your game's done at 1. You got your whole day left. Or you stick around for the second game. Now it's 4 o'clock. Right. You've been having a great time with your friends. And now it's 4 o'clock.
No, 5 o'clock. Bartender, man. I'm bartending on Saturday night till 2, 3 in the morning, and then I got to race home, take a shot of NyQuil. I got to try to just watch NFL in bed. Like, no, that sucked. But you know, pros and cons. Okay. Or what? You got to start day drinking, so I can take a big nap in the middle of the day. No, it really throws everything off. Not a fan of 10 a.m. football.
Well, let's talk
I don't
about
live
the
on
guy
the West
who has
Coast anymore, so we're all good.
Well, let's talk about the guy who has the nuclear football, Blake. Agree or disagree that Joe Biden is at Camp David conducting regular activities? Agree or disagree?
I'm going to disagree there. So I guess he's in Camp David for an entire week. He has no public appearances. There's no pictures. There's no nothing. The sitting president of the United States, who should be having a full schedule every day, doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, sure, they've got to prep for the debate. But I mean, to really just isolate you for an entire week. If you're the sitting president, you should have everything should be just fresh on your mind. There should be no, something that you're going to get caught off guard with. So it's really sad and unusual that they're going to this measure to prop him up. Yeah, the amount of effort it takes to get this feeble old this guy who should not be president if you need a whole week to prepare during your term. It's insane. And it's also weird that he's that they're doing this thing in June. I was doing the show the other day with Mike Barra, and he was bringing that up. I don't think this has ever been done before, Brian. I haven't looked it up. I'm not pulling up the fact check. But don't they usually wait until like both presidents or both presidential nominees, both candidates have actually won their nomination? We haven't even had the conventions yet. So neither one of them are technically official. And yet they're already setting up the debate in summer, early in summer. Very bizarre. It's like they're trying, maybe they're testing Joe. This is like a stress test. And if he can pass, they'll keep going with him. And if he falters tonight, he could be looking at his potential replacement at the convention. So they still have plenty of time to switch him out. I mean, if they need a fucking week to prop him up, and then who knows how many drugs they gotta, keep him awake and keep him alert and frosty for this debate. I mean, he's a massive liability. So I don't know. Well, I'll pull up a few stories.
Yeah, but I mean, Blake, that is the crux of this. Neither of these two men are the nominees of the party. We're putting the cart before the horse here.
Right.
But remember why this happened. This is because Obama. I keep saying Obama's team because it is. They're the ones pulling the Biden puppet strings. They said, okay, fine. Well, we'll do a debate, but we're going to have CNN rigging it. We're going to have sitting, not standing. We're going to have no audience. We're going to take away every advantage. We're going to put a mute button on you. So yeah, sure, we'll do a debate with you. He goes, perfect. I'll be there. They're like, oh shit, dude just called our bluff. Oh shit, Trump said yes. There's no way he should have said yes to that. So I mean, I understand that train of thought going, wow, Trump, the same guy that he goes to the Bronx, he goes to New Jersey, he's in Philadelphia, he's in Detroit. He's hitting all these places that Trump's not supposed to go. He's not supposed to waste his time. He goes in front of the Libertarian Convention. They're booing and heckling him the whole damn time, like a group of
some of them, yeah,
a lot of them. Blake,
vocal minority, right?
I would say most, many of them on the floor. Which was half libertarians and half Trump supporters, roughly. But
they nominated Chase, what's his name?
Chase Utley.
Yeah, Utley.
Chase
no, I don't think so. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Trump he's willing to debate anybody, anytime, anywhere. And I think the Democrats were surprised that he accepted this, trying to figure out the why. And also, Trump's getting set. They're going to lock him up in 2-3 weeks. They're going to try to kidnap him. So he only has like 3 weeks left. They're going to literally try to kidnap the president of the United States in a couple of weeks. So under that circumstance, Blake, it's like you got to take your shot while you have it, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. In a hostile environment, they're trying to set this up as much as possible for, Biden to win, giving him every conceivable advantage and taking the thunder away from Trump. Yeah, no audience. And behind enemy lines with CNN, with people that hate him, with, two of the moderators, one who compared him to Adolf, and one that whose ex-husband was one of the 51 spies that lied about Hunter's laptop. So it's obviously going to be completely rigged against him. And they've set it up for these microphones that are going to be like, shut on and off, which I maybe I kind of like. We'll we'll show those. I got those coming up. We got a bunch of
well,
things to dig through. Actually, I don't even know how much of this I really need to cover here. We've seen.
And by the way, Blake, let me pause right there and jump in. Yes, Kenneth,
Sure.
this is a dog and phony show. I do like that
one,
as well. And Blake, I don't know what you had on the 51 intelligence officials, but that is a separate topic. If you wanted to just, if it was a throwaway, just kind of a, I don't know if you had a lot.
Yeah, I don't have to spend 10 minutes on it. Yeah, but I mean, we can just throw it out right now if you want. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, wherever you're at, whatever works. It's all about the debates and intelligence officials and wherever you want to take it.
Okay. Well, yeah, we've seen, yes, the different versions of Biden, whether he's the gibberish speaking, confused looking old man, or whether he's, pumped up like he was at the State of the Union. So it should be interesting to see what happens tonight and how much effort it takes to keep him going through it. Here's another one. Yeah, what are they hiding? No photos, videos, or sightings of Biden during the week of debate prep. I mean, how important is the president if he can spend a whole week at Camp David just preparing for a debate and nothing else? It doesn't make much sense. So that's highly unusual, and that's what Trump asked. Why does Biden need to hide for a whole week before the debate? The leader, I can't imagine Trump taking everything off of his regular schedule just to focus on that. So something is unusual. Do we want to get into the, oh yeah, here you go. You already got the headline there. It's already going. Joe Biden will be on a cocktail of drugs for the debate. Certainly possible. I mean, Trump has challenged him. Hey, why don't we have a test? We'll take a drug test. And if Joe Biden had nothing to hide, why wouldn't he just say, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem. I got here. You got a cup? I'll pee in it right now." But obviously, there's things that they want to keep hidden from the public, and I think people would probably be, very surprised. Maybe not you and me and our audience, Brian, but I'm sure people would be horrified to know just exactly how many drugs it takes to keep Biden rolling as the resident of the White House. So let's, and this, we'll watch, they're even talking about this here. Let's watch a 2-minute clip with this CNN person, and then our speaker, Mike Johnson, talking about this.
Obviously said that you have seen a cognitive decline in President Biden, but don't you worry that you and fellow Republicans have set the bar pretty low for him?
Look, I just tell the truth, Caitlin. I mean, I have no personal animus against Joe Biden, of course. I respect the office, but I've just acknowledged what everyone sees. We can't help how we age. Everybody ages differently at a different pace. My father-in-law is the same exact age as President Biden, but he's on his A game. He works 12 hours a day, runs his small business that he's been running for years, and he's vibrant, and he can do almost anything seemingly. And President Biden cannot. I mean, that's what people see. And so it's a dangerous thing. I take no pleasure in saying it because our adversaries see that as well. And, I think it's going to be
something a lot of people need to keep in mind is how the world, the optics for the rest of the world to see Joe Biden fading away.
Very interesting contrast between these two men. And the interesting thing about this race, Caitlin, is that both of these men have been president. So you can ignore the rhetoric, you can ignore the talking points, you can look at the record of these two men, and I think that's a really important one as well.
But do you think some of the rhetoric, Speaker Johnson, I mean, just knowing you and how you conduct yourself, do you think some of the rhetoric is out of line when people from Trump's team are suggesting that Trump himself, that Biden is going to be on cocaine when he's on that debate stage?
Okay, I don't think anybody said cocaine, but it's certainly not out of line to be questioning what it is. And we all watched the State of the Union, and we saw how incredibly over-the-top animated that Biden was. And they brought him out pretty late. And we've seen him at his worst where he looks like he's falling asleep mid-sentence.
I'll say cocaine. I'll say cocaine. What is that supposed to be a dirty word? Of course, it's some sort of upper, some sort of stimulant, Ritalin, cocaine, amphetamine, Adderall. Yeah, I'll say cocaine. That's not a dirty word. Of course, it's some sort of upper. The dude's The dude is one of those wacky waving inflatable arm men outside of like a used car dealership, but it's like the motors. The intake of the motor on that machine is covered with leaves, so it's working too hard and it can't fully inflate it. And the wacky waving inflatable arm man's just going, ugh, ugh, ugh. It won't go down, but it definitely won't go up. That's what they're working with Biden. So yeah, the cocaine or the stimulants that's clearing off the leaves so that engine can breathe and it can. Yeah. The last time we saw Joe Biden, he was like a WWE character giving his promo about why I'm going to go get you at WrestleMania, brother.
Well, those guys will admit that
it was like a cartoon skit, Blake.
Right. But I mean, yeah, clearly those guys were sometimes coked up for that stuff. This isn't anything unusual.
Macho Man.
Yeah, exactly. But you look at a lot of those old interviews with Macho Man, Hulk, and Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, they were on something, and that's okay. That was cool. I mean, the '80s wrestling was awesome. But let's the fact that they sit there and like they play so naive. I mean, they even like shot up like Elvis when he was like they had that in the movie not too long ago. I mean, they had to shoot up JFK in office. That's also known. Sometimes
the CIA also shot up JFK in Dallas.
Oh yeah, that's true too. They arranged him.
I'm sorry, I meant Lee Harvey Oswald. Yeah, there you go.
Right. And Jack Ruby just happened to somehow get into the police station and shoot him just because he was so mad. I don't know.
Did you take note of my Tucker Carlson laugh?
Oh, that was good, dude. He had an amazing clip. I mean, we don't have time to play it.
We might have time.
Where he roasted that Australian. I don't want to call her a journalist, just a hack for the regime.
It's so good. There's so much good content in that 5 minutes. If we can tear through these next couple stories, let's get to it. So is Biden refusing drug tests because of inconvenience, Blake?
No, it's definitely not. It's not like, I just don't have time and that's beneath me. If this was, years ago, I mean, Biden was pretty sharp. He was a goofy guy, always was. But as Obama's VP, he was a vibrant, energized guy who could absolutely carry himself. So he wouldn't have needed, say, drug. Maybe he would have done them recreationally. No one would have cared, and nobody would have said, like, what's going on? How can we see two very different versions of Biden? Clearly, the State of the Union, everybody knew it. It was kind of like an open secret. But the fact that these, CNN hacks sit there and play like naive, like, can you believe it? They would even suggest something like this. So, not cocaine, it's Adderall or meth or something, whatever designer methamphetamines they have. And fine, I don't really care, but let's not be naive about it. I mean, even I don't want to say Z Führer was well known for taking the methamphetamines back in the day. So it's kind of an open secret. In fact, actually, I do have I think I had a part of a quick story about that. Yeah, Adderall, Botox, and a B12 shot in the butt. Why Trump's claim that Biden will be pumped up on drugs for debate isn't so far-fetched.
Nobody thinks it's far-fetched. Blake,
right.
Nobody thinks it's far-fetched.
Well, apparently Caitlin Collins, if that's her real name, was surprised.
That's her real name. Blake's full frontal assault on Michelle. I mean, Caitlin. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, or whatever that is. Yes. Not a fan. I don't know how she got to rise so prominently. I think she's only like 30 years old. And she's all of a sudden like CNN's most credible voice. Not understanding that.
Speaks volumes, Blake. That speaks volumes about CNN.
It does. So, what do we have? Yeah, Biden campaign refuses to commit to a drug test before debate. Why? Because we all know why, except for Caitlin Collins.
Right. Except for her.
Okay. Well,
I guess do all these kind of lead into the possible medical emergency that's coming up?
Yeah, we can pull that. So I did want to show really, really quick CNN. So they're going to show these, and I almost kind of like it. These microphones that they're going to have at the debates.
I almost kind of like it too. They're unwatchable when they talk over each other.
Oh, I know. I hate that. It gets out of control. So this might actually be interesting. I'll roll part of this.
It's kind of like watching an ESPN roundtable. When they're trying to discuss a sports story and you got 4 or 5 people there and you're like, I can't listen to any of this crap. It's
right.
Just everyone's over top of everyone. It's like, how about you get the green light? You got 30 seconds. But will they actually give them the same amount of time, and will they be fair with it? Who will be controlling the switch? Right. I like it in theory. So yeah, I'm glad you pulled this up. This is interesting. This is how it'll work, allegedly.
For people that haven't seen it, yeah.
Microphone is off. Interrupts a candidate whose microphone is on. So I'm standing at one podium, and I'll ask Phil to come in and take the other podium. And so let's say I'm answering a question. My light is green, and I'm speaking. Phil's microphone is off, and his green lights are not illuminated. He's going to interrupt me as I'm speaking, and this is what it will sound like. My volume remains constant, while Phil's interruption can be difficult to understand.
Now, let's try the opposite. My microphone is now on. Victor's microphone is off, and he's going to interrupt me. My volume remains constant, while Victor's interruption can be difficult to understand. Now, CNN's production team has shared this demonstration with the campaigns.
So, yeah, no, I do like that. Okay, I think we can agree on that one.
But it feels too common sense for CNN to not try to rig it. They did come out and say that they have not provided Joe Biden with questions in advance of the debate like they did to Hillary Clinton in 2016. They claim that they have not provided the questions. Oh, come on. Is there anyone in the universe who thinks that Biden doesn't have the exact list of every question already in front of him? He doesn't have cheat sheets. He got like henna tattoos of like the comebacks for everything. So like, even if he sweats, it'll be stuck on his skin, his wrinkly ass skin. He can look at his cheat sheet stamped on him in a semi-permanent tattoo manner. Of course he has the questions, but they're claiming they don't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's, I'm going to guess that there's something going on. They're not going to leave him, hanging out to dry. There's got it, whether he's got something in his ear or I don't know. People were talking. It could be wild conspiracy theories of some kind of visual aids. I don't know what they have. If he's wearing like contact lenses, I don't think. I'm not going in that direction. Not at all. But I could see him having some kind of an earpiece or something like that could help him to answer questions, and he can just repeat whatever's being told to him like a puppet. But. Unlike Hillary, I think she was given the questions, but she didn't take a whole week off at Camp David to go prep. She was a smart, for all of her evils, she was still a very sharp lady. So
she went and fainted into an SUV on what day was that? Was that 9/11?
9/11, yeah, it was awesome.
By the way, Kenneth is saying that if you go ahead and give Joe Biden some uppers, you're gonna get dust in the needle puncher. And then I said, Biden's blood type is dust. That one's cracking me up. Biden's blood type is dust. Okay. All right. Aside from the drug tests now, there's this other medical emergency story that's emerging here. Blake, if we wanted to touch on this.
I've seen this report. So you shared this tweet. And I think, if I remember, I don't know Paul Sperry really well, but I think he's a credible voice. So he's saying this: the White House press corps has petitioned CNN to open up the debate studio to reporters who for now have to watch a feed from a building across the street, which is super unusual. They should be there in the actual place. But because they believe that there might be a medical emergency involving one of the presidential candidates that requires on-scene coverage. So that is really bizarre. And of course, that could be going after either one of the candidates. It could be, Joe Biden, he stumbles, fumbles, bumbles, and he can't go through with it. And he gets exposed. And all of a sudden he's got a heart attack or whatever. And then it's like, okay, well, I guess that was it. And they can just roll in the next candidate for the next debate. And they can just, forget Joe.
I had the thought as well, Blake, like what if they tried to make President Trump sick? Like they said anyone listening to the JFK debate against Richard Nixon crushed him. But anybody listening to it thought that Nixon crushed him. Anybody watching it saw Nixon, he was like sweaty and disheveled, he was sick, and they all thought that JFK won that debate. So that was, my spidey senses took it to that extra level. But I was just watching something yesterday, and they said that there's going to be a mobility-related surprise. I'm trying to remember where the heck I saw that. And it's like, wait a minute, are they going to roll Joe Biden out in a wheelchair? Is that what's going on? Are they going to wheel him out in a wheelchair to get sympathy? And then if that's the case, how disarming is that going to be for President Trump? Also, something that they were kind of bandying about was who gets the first choice of podiums or lecterns or tables, whatever they're calling the area that the candidate will be. Will they need to be plugged into something? Will they need some sort of device, something medical, something in ear monitor? Like you said, you could do something in your eye. I'm sure that DARPA has stuff like that. You put a contact lens in, and then suddenly you're like Tesla mixed with Iron Man mixed with, pick your superhero here. But there's supposed to be something about where Biden is situated that he's going to access something, and something about his mobility, and something about a potential medical issue. It's like, these rumors are all they're starting to overlap on the Venn diagram of weirdness, Blake. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it feels like there's way too much smoke for there not to be fire here. And then mix in, like you said, Camp David, the guy disappeared for a full week. What in the world is really going on?
Right. And yeah, wasn't there a conspiracy last time where they had like these weird, like his eyes were like completely, like his pupils were all dilated. So some people were speculating that he had, I don't know, some kind of tech, or whether there's contact lenses and certain screens that he's reading off of because of the contact lenses. I don't know if any of that stuff is true.
Blake, I would be disappointed in my government if they didn't have the capability to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure
that
like James Bond stuff, right? Yeah, CNN.
If it's in Hollywood, you know that someone in DARPA is working on it. So spare me the fact. Oh my gosh, are you suggesting that there's multiple Joe Bidens? What, you mean like the 45 Saddam Husseins? I mean,
well, they had to have body doubles for some of these people, yeah, especially for Saddam.
Every people needs body doubles. Every people,
sure.
And people look different on different days. They're bloated, the salt intake, the chemical composition, if they're on something. I mean, I've seen Trump look 3 or 4 different ways, and you go, God, okay, that's the smiley orange Trump. But then there's the other Trump. It's like, I've seen 3 or 4 different Trumps. That could all be the same person. I'm not telling you that these are definitely 4 different people, but it's definitely been suggested with Biden, seeing skin peeling off and something about a latex something or other underneath the cuffs of that's all fake. All right, fine. That's all fake. I'm the crazy one. The dude literally walks like C-3PO, just kind of struggling across the Serengeti desert. He walks like an Elon Musk robot, but we can't pretend it's someone in a skin suit, whether it's robotic or an actor. Anyway, I digress. But regarding this medical emergency, we got the Paul Sperry tweet. We've had all these other things. I don't know. I don't know what else to add about this. Do you have any other comments on this one, Blake?
No, not on that one, because I don't. That's just like a breaking speculation. Interesting, yeah, there could be. So I don't know. That's according to that journalist. There might be something going on. So
keep your eyes peeled
for everything. Trump is behind enemy lines there, and I wouldn't want him, in CNN studios. Yeah, with who, like, yeah, with people that absolutely wanted to destroy him. So and in Atlanta where he got his mugshot. So many bad things about that I don't like.
Well, tell us about the drinking game.
Well, I think there's a couple of them. No, maybe this is the official drinking game. This is from Matt Taibbi. This is volume 1. I guess they'll be live streaming their debate also. I guess at Racket News, but I think this is I don't know if this is a premium paid channel or not, but anyway, so other people are going to be covering that. But it says the drinking game: take a sip when you hear the words felon or insurrection, Christians, rigged, crooked, Marxist. Oh my God! People are going to be drunk by 30 minutes into it.
And Blake, by the way,
right.
We're talking about wrestling. I remember in high school we were doing an hour of power, and we'd sit in the basement of one of my buddies' places. We play pool and sit around watching World Wrestling Federation. and we did Hour of Power. So yeah, you're talking about people being drunk. Like, we're not even saying like drinking shots of vodka every time people take a drink.
God.
If you take 1 ounce of beer, that's 12 ounces per can, 1 ounce per minute. It seems like, yeah, I could do that forever. No, you can't. That's called Hour of Power.
We did that. It was Century Club is what we called it. You had to do 100 of them.
It gets,
and we did them with diggers. Yeah, so it was like 8 to a beer. It was like an ounce and a half. It's like, oh, it's a deal. And then it go after about 40 of those, you're gonna start feeling it.
Yeah,
not good. It's like, oh, okay, great, we won, but yeah, what do we do? What do we win? Just a violent hangover, throwing up all night. Yeah, great. What a great idea that was.
Yeah, this
you play once. You don't be like, man, I played a Century Club last weekend. We should do it again this week. Like, no.
That's kind of how I feel about debates. It's like, did we really go through this one? I don't really want to do this ever again. And then, you know what? See you next week. Anyway, okay. So what is the drinking game? What else is going on? If they mention
those were like the sip ones, and then you must drink if they use the word insurrection. Or if Biden says something unintelligible, or forgets where he is. Trump accuses Biden of performance-enhancing drugs. Wasn't there that one debate where Trump was like, I think they had the microphone like all juiced up so he could keep hearing him like sniff, and then they were saying, oh, he must have been doing cocaine. But I mean, it did sound, weird, but I don't know. If he's offering to do a drug test, I don't even care. Let them both take Adderall and vitamin B or whatever. I
will say the sniff is almost the best part of the Tyler Fisher Donald Trump impression. I don't know if you know Tyler Fisher. Hey, I think Tyler Fisher's going to Nashville, Blake.
Okay.
We need to go see him. Tyler Fisher in Nashville. I'm going to look that up real quick, but. All right, yeah, the drinking game. I don't know. We'll see. I want to stream this live. I intend on streaming it live. We'll see how it goes. Try to tune in to us at 9:00. I'm going to try to get something together.
There's also a bingo game from the Daily Mail. I think that could also be interesting. A lot of the key the buzzwords are there on display on this page. So that could easily happen. I wonder how many ways this bingo card will come true. Could get a coverall.
Tyler Fisher is going to be in Nashville September 6 and 7. We need to go. That's Friday, Saturday. At Zany's Comedy Club.
All righty. Well, definitely.
He's one of the best.
Isn't there another Nashville? I forget. Another guy that does the Trump impressions.
Oh, yeah. There's 30 of them.
Yeah, but I think like another one that's like in Nashville. I think I follow him on Twitter, but his name escapes me.
Yeah, it's a good impression.
They should both do a thing because I think he was just over at like John Rich's place, the hillbilly. What do they call it? I already forgot the name. Oh, Redneck Riviera. That's what it was. They're doing the impersonations. Anyway, okay, sounds good. I'll definitely shoot me a link. I'll take a look at it.
September 6th and 7th.
Twist my arm for a Nashville party.
Yeah, I know. Twist my arm. Nashville's a cool place, man. Yeah, it was great getting down there for that RFK Jr. Night of comedy. That was pretty nice to see. I enjoyed that. Speaking of doing impressions, Blake, is Vivek Ramaswamy doing an impression of Obama? Do you agree or disagree that Vivek is actually the Republican Obama?
Well, this was a interesting tweet put out by Health Ranger Mike Adams. And yes, he says, we are living in a giant Truman show, and you are the Truman. And this for this post, Vivek Ramaswamy is a deep state plant. Here he is mirroring Obama's speeches. It's all a game, folks. The Roman, I guess, the bread and circus. So let's roll this clip.
Democratic or Republican ideas.
These are not Democrat ideas or Republican ideas.
This is an American idea.
These are fundamentally American ideals.
Imagine they were driving a car and they drove it into the ditch.
If somebody has repeatedly crashed your car,
you can't have the keys back.
Do you want to turn over the keys to the people who...
Russia.
Heaven Star does not exist anymore.
You know, the Cold War's been over for 20 years.
It fell back in 1990.
A skinny guy with a funny name.
Who the heck is this skinny guy with a funny last name?
But they sense deep in their bones.
I believe deep in my bones.
E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. We are one people.
I have a dream that we can be one people again.
Democratic or Republican.
Okay, well, there we go. Interesting.
Yes, and that has been out there for a while. I remember that. That was when Anomaly called him Chat GPT, and then Chris Christie used that line. You know, that was a lot of that. Vivek has taken on every debate as well. He's gone in front of everybody from Charlemagne to the Libertarian Convention, and he's faced hostile environments. And he's one of the most well-spoken people. I haven't seen him make too many mistakes since he's entered the public scene.
Right. I'm a big fan. I hope he gets the VP nominee. But yeah, there's definitely red flags, and we have to absolutely be very careful with him. Because
I'm fine if he doesn't. If he's not VP, I'm fine. I just need him in the administration doing something. He's too useful. He's too helpful. Too focused, and like I would like to see him get some stuff done. You know, maybe his role isn't going to be VP. It might be Burgum. It might be, and we'll see. He might announce it tonight. He's kind of teased it. He's the ultimate showman, right?
Right.
It's like kind of tune in. Look, they're all going to be there, and so it's like, who's going to be there? Oh, JD Vance. Or oh, Burgum is going to be there. Oh, is Tulsi Gabbard going to be there? Who's going to be there? Is Vivek going to be there? So it's like, it's must-see TV. Like, this is a TV man. He ran the #1 TV show for how many years? He was the media darling until he's like, yeah, I'd like to be president. Like, no, you're racist. It's like, shut up, you guys and your goofy accusations. All right, so Vivek, we shall see. Final topic here, Blake. We kept it nice and tight here. Almost hit our goal.
Yeah.
51 intelligence officials should be arrested and charged. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Absolutely agree with that. So it seems like this is all a ruse from the very beginning. They got Freedom of Information Act requests, emails reveal the CIA panicking as they were rushing the approval of the Hunter laptop letter. They sent that around from Mike Morrell to get all these people on board and flip this up. So yeah, and some of them are like, sitting CIA people. So, and they knew right from the beginning this was a total BS, but they got enough people to try to gain credibility with it. And then, of course, they, use that info and to take down the New York Post and to censor everybody in front of the election. And it was just, absolutely massive election interference. They ran a huge hoax and they were wrong. They were busted. They also used this as a reason to put feds inside of these social media companies to prevent other things like this happening, things that were embarrassing for the administration. So, yeah, absolutely. They all knew what they were doing. They lied deliberately, and they should all be arrested and tried.
Yes. I think we need to go legislatively, though. We need to do what Rand Paul is doing, and we need to repeal Smith-Mundt. The Smith-Mundt Act has essentially said that it codified into law that, let me paraphrase, the role of government is to brainwash and manipulate you, lie to you, and tell you misinformation and disinformation. That's what the Supreme Court punted on with the coercion of the social media companies. So I think it's something we need to figure out, and I think Smith-Mundt needs to be repealed, because as of right now, it's like you can understand why they feel bulletproof legislatively and legally. Not literally, folks, because Smith-Mundt is allowing him to do this. And that's why Obama's deep state took over NBC, took over CNN, took over Fox. That whole shakedown lawsuit scam. Like they ever paid. I'd love to hear the results there. Did they ever make a payment? Did they agree to something embarrassing publicly, and then privately they'll wipe something away while Fox veers further and further away from MAGA? I don't know. But yeah, those 51 intelligence officials, that's treason. That was done to stage a coup to overthrow the country. I feel like that's criminal activity. That's past normal, just propaganda. You know, we want our country to look in the best light. That is overthrowing a country and overthrowing the will of the people. So, Lord willing, they will be indicted under the next Trump administration. All right, Blake, any final thoughts on your way out the door today? Once again, you're going to try to come back after the debate, and I'm going to try to be there during it, correct? That's the game plan?
Yeah, because I have to run to work. I am going to get out pretty much at the exact same time that the debate starts. I got to come home. I got to make dinner. I got to watch the debates. I'll take some notes, but I can't immediately jump on the broadcast. But perhaps at some point I will. Definitely afterwards, because I do want to chat about. It's obviously a hot topic, so we'll cover that. So Brian, you're planning on live streaming it, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna live stream. And we're going to cover it the whole night, not the whole night, but yeah, throughout the debate. And then after, so by the time it's done, Blake, you'll probably have a couple of your favorite clips pulled up on X. We could condense that 90 minutes down to, a couple 30-second back and forth banters, a couple highlights from the evening. But yeah, I want this to be a place where we can kind of get together, watch it together, and people can type in their reactions to it live, and I can talk about my reaction to it. I don't know if I'm going to show it because, like they said, that they're probably going to use this to knock accounts offline. So I don't know. Maybe I'll stream it. Maybe I won't. We'll figure it out.
I wouldn't stream it then on YouTube or Facebook, but I think Elon Musk, I believe, has said it's okay. In fact, let me see. He was saying DMCA does not apply. Musk says he will not remove CNN debate streams or footage. So I think if you want to run this on X, you certainly could. YouTube might have an issue with it, but I don't know. So you think about it.
They say that's the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, a federal law addressing relationships in copyright and the internet. So, yeah, no DMCA on X. So follow us on X. We'll be putting this out on X. Yeah, I probably won't even click Facebook. I actually, since we're getting no views from our 2 or 3 groups that we stream to, I might have to disconnect and then reconnect, see if there's a glitch in there, or if that's just how Facebook operates.
Are you going too fast, Brian? Are you going too fast for Facebook?
Yeah, too fast for Facebook. That sounds like a good band name, by the way. All right, Blake, on your way out the door, tell people where they can find you.
TV's Blake Walley on Twitter X, and the archive is always on the nextlevelnews.com. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to maybe you guys will join us later.
Yes, join us later.
Okay, cool.
It'll be much more fun with you participating. I swear it'll be much more fun with you. So to be continued, Blake. Thank you much.
All right, thank you guys. All right, peace.
There he goes, everybody. TV's Blake Walley. If you appreciate independent journalism and would like to send Blake a thank you, you can do that on Cash App. It's on the screen in light blue. It says $ Blake W99. $ Blake W99. Now, of course, the New American Media is in places. We need you to follow us on X right now. Make sure that you're subscribed to us. Make sure you hit the like button or leave a comment. Engage with us because the algorithm feeds you what it thinks you want more of. If you engage with it, if you hit like, if you add comments, the algorithm's like, oh, you like the New American Media. Oh, you like Brian Engelman. Oh, you like the Agree to Disagree show. Oh, you're a fan of Blake Walley. Well, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Well, you tell the algorithm what you like. So please make sure you're on X following us on the New American Media. We are at American_media_. On Facebook, we have a page, the New American Media. Follow it. And a group, several different groups. Search TNAM for the New American Media. And TNAM's The Agree to Disagree Show. TNAM''S, The Agree to Disagree Show. Follow us in all those groups. TNAM Grow Something, TNAM Humor, TNAM Food and Drink. We have a lot of TNAM groups. There's a lot of different interests. We don't just cover politics and current events. On Instagram, the New American Media, follow that page, please. Also, Telegram, we are TNAM and TNAM Chat. TNAM and TNAM Chat on Telegram. So Telegram is going to be our Facebook backup for when they inevitably silence us on Facebook this election year. Rumble, make sure you're following us on Rumble, the New American Media, because Rumble is the backup to YouTube. Additionally, YouTube has a backup, which is Odyssey, Odyssee. So on Odyssey, search the New American Media and subscribe. That gives a carbon copy of everything we upload to YouTube. It's duplicated onto Odyssey. So that's like the dead man switch. So yeah, TNA. Yeah, TNAM TNA. That, Now there was a man cave group for a while, but that's for another topic for another day. Yeah, TNAM TNA. I don't know, but that's not bad. I mean, just giving people what they're looking for. But yes, so speaking of what you're looking for, subscribe to Odyssey, the New American Media, YouTube, the New American Media, Rumble, the New American Media. I need your subscriptions in all these places, please. On Spotify, we are the Agree to Disagree Show. Subscribe to us and check us out there, so you can just download and listen to the episode if you're not in front of your regular device. And then on Truth Social, the New American Media. All of these places all of the time. But we definitely put different content in different places. So I encourage you to link up with us. Tune in around 9 o'clock. Maybe we'll go early, 8:45, 8:30. We'll get the stream going. And yeah, we'll broadcast on X, do a live stream. We can react to the debate together in real time. I don't know what to expect, but I feel like there's some shenanigans afoot. We shall see. I also heard a rumor that Gavin Newsom is supposed to be doing the media room after the event, kind of like the Biden spokesperson. Wait and see if that turns into the situation, because it looks like they're putting Gavin Newsom in the on-deck circle. That's what Fox News tried to do with little Ronnie D when they put Ron DeSantis in front of Gavin Newsom. It seems like they're wanting to switch both candidates, and like we said, neither party has selected their nominee just yet. So a lot of question marks, but we appreciate all of you following us and linking up with us. So we'll be back at about 8:30, 8:45 tonight. Make sure you find us. We'll talk to you in a few. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program. Like the program, go back into our archives. We have 14 years of content. Find some interviews that look interesting. Go to like our highest viewed videos and watch some of those. It's just a lot of interesting stuff. We're definitely kind of back in the swing of things, asking for your participation. Just clicking play and letting some of these shows play in the background, while you're doing chores or working on the car. Like it makes a difference to the algorithm. It sees 100 extra minutes. It sees 1,000 extra minutes. It sees, 10 extra likes, 100 extra likes. It makes a difference. And we have been ramping things back up for this year because it feels important. And we have definitely been silenced over the years by big tech. But we're continuing. Thankfully, there are different platforms that I just mentioned to you. So if we're not going to be there on the regular places, find us in the other spots. The New American Media, TNAM. Gavin Gruesome and